Okay, we all know what that sound is. That's the sound of the Comedy Time Machine flying in. We just flew back from 2003, and by we, I mean me, myself, the pilot of the Comedy Time Machine, Steve Mazan, and my co-pilot and full-fledged flyer now. You are you can fly, and I can be your co-pilot some weeks as well, if you like.
It doesn't matter.
If you feel. I'm not sexist. I know women are good comedy.
It's a give and take.
Comedy time machine pilots. So we went all the way back to 2003 this week, and I say all the way back. It's not one of our longest trips. It's I think we only went back 8 or 9 years last week. But it's one of those. If you say 2003 to me, it seems like it's a year or two ago.
Yeah.
But of course, we're talking 11 years ago. It was over a decade. So it's crazy how short it seems, and actually how long it is. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's so far ago. This is a couple years after 9/11, so we're living in the post 9/11 world in 2000 But yeah, I mean,
before we met.
Before we met, it's still a couple years ago. It was miserable. I was waiting. I was wondering, like, oh, will I ever find someone? Exactly. Yes, and luckily, I was. That was in my future. I almost don't like to take the time machine back to a time that I didn't know you. Isn't that sweet?
Should we make out?
Okay. Probably disturb the viewers. So welcome to the Comedy Time Machine. As you heard, we went back all the way to 2003, the first week of October, and checked out everything. I'm going to say, I am allergic to 2003. There was a lot more pollen in the air in 2003, and I brought it with me.
Earphones in your ears. I hope that.
Yeah, I apologize.
In the future, you now know if he says he's going to sneeze to take them out of your ear for a second.
I did prep people, so I apologize to anyone who burst an eardrum on that, and I apologize to all the snot on the camera there. But we went back to 2003, and we're going to let you know everything that was happening in 2003. I love looking back and nostalgia and that kind of thing. I think it's always fun. And so we're going to give you the countdowns of what was happening in music, movies, some of the news, all that kind of stuff. And 2003, it was a pretty good year. I had a lot of fun stuff happening. And in fact, I think this was the year I moved down to Los Angeles. So I met you down here in Los Angeles in 2004. I guess a year later. I said 2 years. But I think I had just moved down. Maybe I was down here for 5 or 6 months at this point. But that was the year I moved to LA. Yeah. You had been down here for a couple of years.
I moved in 2000.
2000, yes. So you were very comfortable back here. We make sure never to find ourselves when we go back in the Comedy Time Machine.
Yes.
And see what we're doing. Because it would be like Marty McFly in Back to the Future, and then we'd have to change things, and we'd have photos, and they'd slowly be disappearing. So we make sure not to do that. But let's get to what was going on in this first week of October 2003. How about we start with the movies? Huh?
Okay.
Yes, that's fair. Okay. So as we have been doing over the past couple weeks, and I think this is fun for the people watching and then the people listening on our podcast, you can play along with Denise. So she did not look at the marquee or the newspapers to see what was playing at the movies. You did for other things.
I thought you were going to say she did not do very well last week.
She didn't do. She was awful. Hopefully you did better. Keep score at home. Actually, you don't need to keep score. You beat her if you just watch. Are you peeking? It looks like you're peeking over in my list.
I can't read your writing from that far away.
Don't even try. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you the, we always go 11-0 update. Denise still hasn't seen Spinal Tap, supposedly. And we will check it. That's what I said.
We need to watch it.
Yes, we'll check it out. And
why don't we think of that when we're home and we can't figure out what to do?
What we're going to watch.
We're like, we're so bored.
We're bored, and we end up, So we'll do a countdown here, and I will give you clues about each movie and see if you can guess them before I have to give you the title. So there should only be a couple. I know, right? We are. This is a Bears episode today. Later today,
Bears game today.
I got a little Brian Urlacher. I'm going back to 2011, I guess.
When they still weren't good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, how dare you?
They weren't.
So we're trying to go back to a time when Cutler wasn't their quarterback. Is that it?
Cutler was still their quarterback. It wasn't the other guy that sucked too. Grossman.
Right. Yeah, that was 2005.
Yeah.
So 2006. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do the countdown. I will tell you a little about each movie, starting at number 11. Okay, this movie is right up your alley. And because
Alley Cats.
No, it's right up your alley because it's got a lot of things you love. It's about vampires. You actually, I think, just saw this movie. Surprisingly, it's not Twilight. 2003.
Is it the one with what's his name in it? Wesley Snipes?
It is not Blade. Okay. But again, in that vein, I will give you a hint. It pits, just like Twilight, vampires versus werewolves. I think Blade is just vampires.
Okay, give me more hints.
The star, surprisingly enough, for a movie like this, although this goes to the Twilight thing as well. It's funny. It's really making me think Twilight is just a light teenage version of this movie. Now that the more I think about it,
we just saw it.
You just saw it. I had seen it way back. The lead is a female, and that's what also has it kind of like Twilight.
Is it with Kate? What's her face?
Yes, Kate Beckinsale.
I'm doing really good with my names today.
Yes. Do you remember the name?
She's gorgeous. No.
She is hot.
Underworld.
Yes, Underworld. Well done. Ding. So that was our number 11 movie. She married the director of this movie. I don't know if they're still together
cute?
Or not. I didn't look him up, but I remember hearing that. They made
gorgeous.
A bunch of sequels together, and yeah, she's pretty hot.
Yeah, she's
pretty hot. Well done. So there you go.
Thank you.
You're 1 for 1. Hopefully you beat Denise to the punch on that. At home, let us know. Feel free feel free to email us or Twitter us and let us know if you beat Denise. At Steve_Mazan is my Twitter. For those of you who aren't watching the Hangout and can't see it up on the screen there. So at Steve_Mazan, Mazan. Let us know if you like the show and if you are beating Denise in the game. Okay, so that was number 11. Number 10. This is a movie I saw when it came out. You hadn't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very highly rated. It has Bill Murray in it.
Mm-hmm.
You saw it a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yes. Do you know it already?
The submarine movie.
No. Steve Zissou? You're thinking of The Aquatic Life of Steve Zissou? No,
okay.
Not a Wes Anderson movie.
The one in Tokyo.
Takes place in Tokyo. And do you remember the name? 3 words. I'll give you a hint. I'm guessing everyone listening. Wait, I'm going to give you a hint. Nothing's coming to mind. That means you are... What about this question? You are...
Stumped.
Close. You are... You can't find your way.
Brain farting. Lost.
Yes?
Lost.
It's the first word.
In Tokyo.
Close.
Lost in translation.
Lost in translation. All right. Took a while, but we get it. This is kind of like charades. It's like you're listening in to 2 people. It's movie. I make the things.
This is going to be a 3-hour podcast.
Lost in translation. You didn't care for Lost in translation.
No, I didn't like it.
I liked it. I do think it might be a little overrated. But I really liked it. Sofia Coppola directed this. Still, I think probably her best movie that she did. Scarlett Johansson, of course, Giovanni Ribisi. The famous thing about the movie is what at the very end, after they spent this kind of week together, Scarlett and Bill Murray in this kind of May-December romance, I guess. He whispers, something in her ear, and that's the big MacGuffin, I guess, or the big mystery of the movie. What did he whisper in her ear? Because you never see it. You see that it really affects her, and that's the last time they speak. But we never get to hear what it is. So a lot of people have a lot of conjecture, and so yeah, that's it. Any guesses? Do
no, because I don't remember the movie. I wiped it from my Rolodex.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's all off. All right, well, let's move on then. I'm not even gonna make you guess on this movie because I did not see it. And even going back into 2003 in the time machine.
Did I see it?
I'm going to tell you the thing, and I'm going to do a reverse here. I'm going to give you the title of the movie and see if you can guess any of the people who were in it. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So that's a little different one. This one is called Secondhand Lions. It was a number 9 movie.
Yes,
Whoa.
I saw it. It was...
you saw this movie?
Yes. It was Robert Duvall in it.
Mm-hmm.
Told you, if Robert Duvall's in a movie, I know.
Yeah. So you saw the movie?
Yes.
Nice. Who else? Do you remember who else?
Oh, possibly Tommy Lee Jones.
Don't think he was in it. He might have been, but he's not one of the top west. Haley Joel Osment from Sixth Sense, which you just saw.
Yeah.
This was kind of his first movie.
There was another older guy in it.
Yes. So there were 2 old guys. The other one was Michael Caine.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed him.
Michael Caine.
Yes, I did see that movie though.
Did you see Secondhand Lions? That's pretty good. What we were working on an impression yesterday. Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, it was what's his face from Taken.
From Taken. Oh, Liam Neeson. I'm convinced I can do a Liam Neeson.
Yeah, and I don't understand why you would want to.
Well, he's pretty popular right now,
so
right?
What?
He's pretty popular.
My hopes is that he never.
I had told people get people tell you who you look like. Like
you don't look like him because
like
I don't
Liam
want
Neeson.
you to.
You don't want me to. That's what people had told me
You
before when I was younger.
Like
I'm just saying. They said that's people told me. I always get Pee Wee Herman and Liam Neeson. It's a pretty wide range.
Were you 5 when they told you that?
How would I look like Liam Neeson when I was 5?
Anything like him. Nothing like him. I see you.
How would I be 5 years old? Look like
I don't know. I'm just saying.
He wasn't even famous then.
I know.
So it would be
I'm
extra
just
weird.
Saying, like you
if
look
I was
nothing
5.
like him.
What if I was a 5-year-old and I was calling up my friends and I was like, I have a unique set of skills. I will find you and get my big wheel back. It's about my big wheel being taken. That was it. We just saw to tie in. So this is what's great. This is what's great about going back in the time machine is you think that things have changed a lot, but they really don't end up changing that much.
They don't. And I'm a little angry about this.
Yes. Well, let me just, you're going to bring up, we saw there was a preview for another Taken, which I don't even mind that that this is the third Taken movie. And so I wouldn't mind that. Here's what bothers me is in between the 3 Taken movies, he's done 5 movies that are basically Taken.
Yes.
So if it was just 3 Taken movies and when he's not doing that, he's doing a Schindler's List or something.
Well, and why can't, he's like 60, first of all.
Yeah.
Why can't he be like, in a movie where he's like 60 and like, married to like his 60-year-old wife. He's married to some 30-something-year-old always. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, dude, come on.
You're not taken with Taken.
I'm not taken by him.
You're not taken by him?
No, but your mom is. Why?
My mom loves Liam Neeson.
Because she's 75.
I think we brought this up on the podcast before.
Should be his audience.
That you actually thought he would have been a great Robert Langdon in the Angels, Demons, and of course Da Vinci Code. Those movies stunk. But maybe it would have been better with him. I agree. Tom Hanks. I love Tom Hanks, obviously, but
not in those movies.
He was not good in those movies. So, do you want to hear my Liam Neeson?
He could be like a professor. That would be a great role for him.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, but I'm so bored with him. Please.
Okay, here's what I.
Again, I don't.
This is. I'm not saying I've got it. I'm saying I think if I worked on it, so maybe over the course of the next few podcasts,
you'll
hear my
Liam. Do you feel the need
Mazan.
to work on it?
Liam Mazan. But then, I have a unique set of skills. I will find. My unique set of skills allow me to make movie after movie. If you're sleeping, I can wake you up by throwing water in your face. All right, so we'll work on it. We'll see if it gets any better. Okay, so well done. You did secondhand lines. The point I was making, I got distracted by our Liam Neeson, is that as much as things change, they stay the same, especially Hollywood. You were just mentioning Robert Duvall. He's a guy, obviously, probably in his 80s now. We just saw last night a pretty good movie with him. The Judge is out. And as you mentioned, he's in Secondhand Lions as well. And of course, we mentioned Bill Murray in Lost in Translation.
Mm-hmm. We just saw him.
The night before, we saw fantastic
Saint
Vincent. I had just been railing about Bill Murray kind of giving us the same character over and over since, like, Royal Tenenbaums and Rushmore, and that it's just kind of this kind of smug, smart, but quiet, guy. And when he talks, it's great, but not very physical or anything. And I think he got physical in this, and I like that. He got silly.
He was great.
It's just, dancing around and really funny. So see St. Vincent. You don't have to go back to 2003. It's out in the theaters right now, I think in New York and LA, and spreading wide coming this week. So you can see that in 2014. So check that out. Okay, moving on. 11, 10, 9, 8. Number 8. Okay, this movie I sure was a book. What's crazy is it kind of almost makes me think of Eat, Pray, Love. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Eat, Pray, Love came out, the book, till after this.
Okay.
But it's a movie about a woman who drops everything in her life and she moves to Italy and starts cooking.
Under the Tuscan Sun.
Under the Tuscan Sun, yes.
I
with
loved
Diane
that
Lane.
movie.
Did you love the movie?
Yeah.
I love her. I think she's awesome. She's one of my favorites.
Yeah. I didn't read the book, though.
You did not?
No, and it did come out before the movie.
Before Eat, Pray, Love as well?
Way before. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely before the movie. But you think before the book, too?
I know, before the book.
Awesome. So it was a good movie? You recommend?
I did. And I mean, the problem is I feel like I'm a decent reviewer of movies-ish, but I love Italy. And so...
Yeah. So you like that?
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was a sweet movie, just love story-wise, and just... it went through the heartbreak and the building of love in a non-traditional way, which I kind of liked.
Yeah.
It didn't take the.
Does she hook up over there? Is that what happened?
She does, but it doesn't go well, and like all
Does
this
she find
other
love over
stuff
there?
happened. Well, I don't want to ruin it for anybody since it's
Spoiler alert for Under the Tuscan Sun. That's one of the big ones.
She does, but it's not how
There's
you
the
expect.
big twist. She goes lesbo?
No, but there is a lesbian person in there.
Oh,
yeah.
With her?
No.
Ah.
No, her best friend's a lesbian,
All
and
right.
then her best friend
Well,
they
let's
end
move
up breaking up while she's
So
pregnant.
Kate Beckinsale? That'd be two of my favorites. All right. So you recommend it though? I never saw it. Like I said,
great.
I like her. I like her. She's always good. She incredibly hot in an awful movie called Streets of Fire way back from the 80s. Really hot.
She's kind of awkward.
She's awkward?
Well, she's neurotic, and she brings that to screen. I don't know if she's neurotic in her real life. I can't imagine.
I think
her
she
not
just got
being.
divorced from what's his name?
Really?
Brolin, Josh Brolin.
Oh,
they were
really?
married. Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. Moment of silence. Sorry. Okay. An angel got its wings and she got divorced. A Hollywood star gets divorced every time. We probably have to be like that kind of thing. Doesn't that? What does this remind you if I do this?
Making me want to punch you in the face.
That's so funny. I'm going to throw this out there. This is so funny now that I do this. This reminds me of An Angel Gets Its Wings every time.
Okay.
From It's a Wonderful Life, one of my favorite movies of all time. But this, if I hit it fast, it's
which
very
you don't
different.
have to do again. Okay.
That doesn't remind you of anything?
No.
Breaking Bad, the guy in the wheelchair. Remember that all he could do was communicate through the thing, and he recognizes Walter at the last second, and he starts banging on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so great. What a great movie. It's not a movie. It's a TV show. I'll bet they make a movie at some point out of it, though.
Probably. Okay.
Probably. Okay, let's move on. So this next one, I'm going to give you the cast and see if you remember this one.
I saw a name on your list.
Did you? What was the name?
Out of Time.
That wasn't it. See, you are looking.
I just looked the first time.
Wasn't Out of Time. No, don't look.
Okay, well, it's right in my way.
You are over here. My list is way. I'm going to show everyone where the list, so where the eyes would have to go. I have to go woo, like over here, and there's a Tums bottle.
Please tell you,
things.
I search for Christmas presents and unwrap them and rewrap them.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. It's not Out of Time. So here's the cast. It was directed by Peter Berg, which probably doesn't mean anything to you. But Christopher Walken was in it. These are the stars: Christopher Walken, The Rock, and Seann William Scott.
Who's Seann William Scott?
He played Stifler in the American Pie movies.
I don't know.
It was called The Rundown.
Didn't see it.
You remember The Rundown? It kind of took place out in the jungle somewhere, and I think it was a bunch, kind of guys get caught up in trying to screw each other and that kind of thing. They're criminals, and I've seen parts of it on cable. Peter Berg's a pretty good director. I really like him. He's directed some good stuff, but none of us have seen this full movie. So let's move on. I haven't seen this next movie, but lots of fun. I'm not even going to give you any of the cast or trivia about it. Or not trivia, but try and get you to guess. I'm just going to give everyone, this is a movie based on a video game. And this is when that started becoming popular in the early 2000s.
War Games?
War Game? No, I think that was 1984. And that spawned a video game. It wasn't about video games.
Oh, okay.
The movie is called House of Dead. And I think this is, it's about zombies. And I think this is on the heels of Resident Evil had come out a year or two before, which is a zombie movie based on a video game.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. So House of Dead, here's a couple trivia about it. It's directed by, again, a guy named Uwe Boll. And I believe he's European German or something. Mm-hmm. And many people regard him as the worst director of all time, up with Ed Wood, who great. Johnny Depp played in the Ed Wood movie. And it has a 2.0 rating, this movie, on IMDb. And so IMDb has the top 250 movies of all time.
Right.
It also has the bottom 100 of all time. And this is ranked number 16, bottom 100
wow. What's the
of
number
all time.
One?
House of Dead. I didn't look. We'll get that for you next time. It's too bad we didn't have an intern that could look that up right now, because we need an intern. If you're interested, send us an email, steve@stevemazon.com.
How many emails have we gotten to date?
No one wants to intern for us, but we'll find one.
Yeah, we will.
We're spreading our wings, and people will, of course, want to intern for us. We're in Los Angeles, so maybe it's just long for them to get out here.
Yeah.
We need an intern, so feel free to email steve@stevemazon.com or at Steve_Mazon. So Yeah, we will try and find the answer to that. What the bottom of it is, the bottom movie of all time on IMDb. See what the worst work is. So this guy's got a couple of them now. I think he's got 2 or 3 movies that are in the bottom 100 too. House of Dead. Okay, next up was a movie with Denzel Washington. Can you guess what it was?
Does it have something to do with time?
Yes.
It actually has something
How
to
many
do
time
with
machine?
going back in time.
Does it? I don't think it does.
Oh.
I think you're mistaking it with another movie.
Oh, never mind. Maybe I didn't see it. I thought.
You're thinking, I think, of Deja Vu.
I am thinking of Deja Vu.
Where they find a thing where they can go back in time.
Yes, you're right. Okay, wrong movie.
He's made a few movies that are similar. This one is actually similar to another movie. There's I can't think of the other movie he did, but this one has Eva Mendes, him, and he's like a private detective, and he's accused of something. And he's got to prove himself wrong.
Oh,
I just saw
he
it
has to prove himself.
prove that the people accusing him are wrong.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
And so it was pretty good. I've seen it, and he's always good, right? Denzel Washington's never awful. Eva Mendes was in it; she was good. There's a funny sidekick too. I can't think of who it was, but yeah, recommend that. So let's move on. Since you looked already, did you look?
That's the only thing I saw. Sorry.
All right. This next one you're not going to get, so I'm just going to give you the. Well, I'll let our audience at home play along.
Yeah,
okay, it was a movie about a intergalactic dog that comes and recruits a human boy, like a 7 or 8 year old boy, to help him.
The previews.
Did you?
Yes.
What was it called?
No.
It was called Good Boy for those people at home. This stars a couple of our favorite people, though. I think in the role of the parents in the movie, Molly Shannon was one of your favorites, right?
Where did she go? She's still
awesome. Out there.
Well, she's still out there, like alive, but she's not.
We used to see her every week on Saturday Night Live, and I think once you leave Saturday Night Live, you either become Will Ferrell or you become Molly Shannon. Those people always work.
Will Ferrell.
You think so? She thinks she's that funny?
Yes, I do.
That good?
Yes.
You know, I hate to say this.
She could have become Kristen Wiig. She's that funny.
No, I don't think she's as funny as Kristen Wiig. She's hilarious.
Okay, here might be
Kristen.
The problem.
Here's what I'm just
going
to say.
Always Molly Shannon. That might be the problem. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. If she's in a movie, she's always Molly Shannon.
She's always like, "Hi, how are you today?"
She's always doing
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she was in Never Been Kissed.
Yeah, and she was that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I think she's a great character. I think people you see on Saturday Night Live always end up working.
Mm-hmm.
They keep working a lot. Now there's big, huge stars that like Will Ferrell, and you'll see them in their own movies and that kind of thing. And then, but everyone else still ends up working. So Molly Shannon is probably in 2 or 3 movies a year where she's like this. She's the mom, or she's the, that kind of thing. She's the crazy sister or anything like that. So here's the problem. I'll say she's not as good looking as Kristen Wiig. And it's very tough for women to be the leads unless they're either they got to be at least cute. Do you know what I'm saying?
She's
like there's
cute
going to be
in a like character actress sort of a way.
Don't think guys think I want to bang her.
Do you want to bang Kristen Wiig? Kristen
Wiig's pretty hot. That's way over the thing. You don't think Kristen Wiig's good looking?
I think she's cute in an awkward sort of a way.
No, she's actually pretty hot. I think she downplays how good looking she is.
Really?
Yes. I'll show you some photos later.
What about the girl that was in Bridesmaids with her? She's all popular and she is not cute.
Melissa McCarthy?
No. No, the lead.
From Maya Rudolph?
Yes, Maya Rudolph. She is not cute.
She's on the same level as what's her name?
Who?
I think. Molly Shannon. She shows up in movies, but you're not going to be like, oh, the new Maya Rudolph movie, right?
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't count. So, but I'll give you some people who do their own movies, and you'll see what I'm saying. Ready?
You're right.
What?
Okay,
she works a lot.
She's in a TV, but just little things like a TV movie.
Right.
Yeah.
People from Saturday Night Live, because of Lorne Michaels, they work all the time. If you get on Saturday Night Live and get known, you'll work. It might not be huge or whatever, but
tiny
you're gonna
things
work
though she's doing. All right, you're right.
So let me make my point with this. Tina Fey, good enough. You would want to have sex with her. Amy Poehler, you would want to have sex with her. These people are the people that get huge, big things. That can. Actually, I think Molly Shannon could probably get a TV show. It's a movie career is a different thing. You know what I mean? You have to be.
I don't want to have sex with Tina Fey.
Well, of course you don't.
I would have sex with Amy Poehler.
That's because you like the Rick sketch, right?
I love the Rick. If you guys,
do you want to do your Rick impression?
No, but you should do yourself a favor and look up
Amy Poehler Rick if you haven't seen it.
At the mall.
Yeah.
Amy
And it may be,
Poehler
yeah.
at the mall. Rick. It's great.
Okay, moving on. Oh, the other person, Molly Shannon's husband, I believe, in the movie, or at least the dad, Kevin Nealon.
They're married?
In the movie.
Oh.
In the movie Good Boy.
Don't make that
Good
face.
Boy. Because he just, like, start. Friend of the show, Kevin Nealon.
He is a friend of the show.
Friend of the show. And, of course, he was in our movie, Dying to Do Letterman, which is now available
on Hulu.
on
for free.
Hulu. And I heard, Amazon Prime and, of course, iTunes if you want to pay for it, if you enjoy doing that instead.
Yeah,
but if you like
absolutely.
streaming on Hulu, it's free. Check it out. Dying to Do Letterman.
Yes.
Kevin Nealon, lots of famous people, Jim Gaffigan. Who am I figuring? Ray Romano.
Brian Regan.
Brian Regan, our favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So check that out. Okay. Going to number 3 this week. All right. Coen Brothers movie. That's for the people at home. I say Coen Brothers movie to Denise, and she just stares at me. Coen Brothers movie.
I want to say I do not, but I can't.
So these are the guys that made Fargo
Uh-huh.
and Raising Arizona, one of my favorites. All those are great movies. No Country for Old Men. So many great movies. But this, not one of their great movies, I don't think.
Okay.
They made so many good ones. George Clooney is in it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know yet?
No.
No, for George.
Oh, yes, I do. It is called, I can't remember, but it's that country weird one.
Ah, see, I led you in the wrong direction.
Oh, it's not.
It is not that movie, but that is the Coen Brothers.
What is that called?
Oh, Brother, We're Out.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the Coen Brothers?
Yeah, that's Coen Brothers.
Interesting. Look how smart I am.
Yeah, good job. Good job.
Don't ding me.
I was gonna
You were
reward
gonna
you
go,
with a. So yes, it is not that movie, but George Clooney was in that, and that is a Coen Brothers movie. Did you
Okay.
like that? That was a good movie.
Maybe. I don't know.
That was fun. And this one also has. Oh my God, I'm blanking on her name now. I didn't write it down because Michael Douglas's wife.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Catherine Zeta-Jones. So Catherine Zeta-Jones and George Clooney. Do you know it from that?
No.
People at home have probably guessed it already, so that's for you people at home. And you are all friends of the show. You're all friends of the show. Friends of the show. Intolerable Cruelty was the name of the movie. Intolerable Cruelty. And you can see this is running on cable probably once a month or so. You can catch it somewhere.
I'm sure I've seen it, but I don't remember it at all.
I think the gist is they're both divorce lawyers, but they're kind of falling in love, that kind of thing. It's like an old kind of Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn thing, but brought up to date with those two. And yeah, like I said, it's not one of their. When you hear people talk about great Coen brother movies, people don't bring this one up too much. It's not awful. It's not with Uwe Boll in the bottom 100 or anything like that. It's just not. It's in. Number 2. Okay, let me see how I can bring this up to you. Big movie, huge movie. I'll give you a hint. Small role in this movie, Sarah Silverman, and as we talk about that things don't change that much, she just hosted Saturday Night Live this week.
She did.
And I think this is 2003. This is after her time. She was in the 90s. She was on the cast of Saturday Night Live for a couple of years, but never really. People don't remember that because she didn't really do anything much on the show. But she hosted this past week here in 2014. So she had a small role in this movie as kind of the villainous girlfriend. Like the star of the movie has a friend that he stays at his house, and this is that friend's girlfriend, and she's kind of mean. Okay. The star of the movie is, I'll give you the plot. He is unemployed, but his friend is a substitute teacher, and his friend gets a call to substitute teach at a private school. And this person, the star of the movie, because he needs money, takes the position. And then he gets there and he realizes he has to teach music to young kids.
Rock of something.
Rock of Ages?
Yeah, but it's not that.
It's not right. It's got the word rock in it.
She was in it.
She plays
School of Rock.
School of Rock. It is starring.
What's his face?
Yes, well done. What's his face? He's a big star.
Fat guy. Jack Black.
Jack Black in School of Rock. I really like this movie. This is a lot of fun.
I didn't realize she was in that.
Yeah, like I said, she plays it's just a small role. Joan Cusack is in it, plays the head of the thing.
Such a weirdo.
Always funny. Jack Black. I don't know that Jack Black's been better in a movie.
He was great.
This is one of those, like, they had been putting him in movies and putting him in different things, and he's the buddy, he's this, he's going to play this was the one time when it all came together. I can't believe this is 11 years ago, because again, think since what this still stands up, I think, as the Jack Black movie, right?
This movie made there's actual schools of rock now.
Is there?
Yeah, in LA.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't everywhere. I don't know if it's a franchise, but there's a school of rock in LA.
Oh, that's funny. So I don't. This might be 11 years ago, still his shining moment, right?
So.
I mean, he's done the voices and stuff, Kung Fu Panda and that kind of thing. But I think this is as good as he's got, Jack Black. So yeah, he was great in it. So funny. I love the ending. As the credits roll, it's all him and the kids playing
awesome.
"Long Way to the Top."
Yeah.
If You Want to Rock and Roll by AC/DC, one of my favorites.
Yes.
Which played me on when I was on Letterman.
I know.
Schaefer and the Band.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. I do Letterman on Hulu. Check that out.
You can see Steve's set if you go to
YouTube as well. You can hear him playing "Long Way to the Top" if you want to rock and roll. So here's an interesting thing about this movie, and I did not know this. And again, I'm a big fan of the movie, and I'm a big fan of the director, but I didn't know this guy directed that movie, Richard Linklater. That probably doesn't mean much to you.
No, but I know his name.
He directed. Now, this is why I didn't know that he directed this movie. This kind of is a weird movie. He usually does small kind of indie movies that take place in a night or two or that kind of thing. Although the most recent movie he did took place over 15 years, Boyhood.
Okay.
So he did Boyhood. He did Before Sunrise, After Sunset, all the Ethan Hawke stuff. Dazed and Confused, which of course introduced us to Matthew McConaughey and Ben Affleck and those guys. So those are the movies usually kind of. School of Rock is a much bigger mainstream kind of family fun rollicking comedy for him. So that was interesting. When I looked at it, I was like, oh wow, Richard Linklater. I would never have guessed he did that movie. But great job. So School of Rock, we both recommend that if you've never seen it. And this movie's on all the time on cable. Number one, are you ready for number one?
I am. I'm so excited about
Number one, I don't think you saw this movie until you and I were together. So at least 3 or 4 years after this, we probably either rented it or watched it on cable. Quentin Tarantino movie. I believe the only Quentin Tarantino movie that has a sequel. I don't know if that gives it up for you.
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill Volume 1. This is the first one.
Is this the number one movie?
This is the number one movie this week, 2003. Kill Bill. Volume 1.
Wow.
And at the number one spot. Very interesting. So Quentin Tarantino, of course, Kill Bill Volume 2 came out, I believe, a couple years after this. This one was rated number 168 of all time on IMDb's top 250. The second one, not rated in the top 250, but it might be one of those things where almost like the Lord of the Rings or something, they give an award to one, but really you're getting the award for a bunch. So maybe people are just saying, hey, we like this. It's basically one movie in 2 parts.
We watched them together, right?
Yes, I think you hadn't seen them, and I was like, oh, you like action movies and kind of fight scenes and stuff. Very stylistic. You didn't like it?
I don't remember if I liked it. I think I'm
very influenced, obviously, by Bruce Lee and that kind of stuff, and even her outfits. Amazing. I actually like the second one a little better. The first one's so much fun, but it's really it does feel like 2 different movies because the second one's much more dramatic, and David Carradine's in it, who has since passed away by hanging himself or masturbating. Supposedly, he was choking his chicken and himself at the same time. But he was amazing in Kill Bill Volume 2. This is the first one. This one, so famous scenes, her fighting Lucy Liu, I think, and fighting Vivica Fox. And her Vivica Fox daughter walks in when they're basically trying to kill each other, and they try and act like it's not happening. And a great hospital scene. Great hospital scene where she wakes up and the guy's thinking about raping her. So lots of guys.
Hadn't he already raped her?
He may have. I can't remember.
Did when she was in a coma.
Yeah. But so she gets revenge on her. So that was it. That was all the movies this week. Great lineup, I think. That was some really good movies. Great. 2003 was great. And as you see, here we are 11 years later and still seeing Robert Duvall, still seeing Bill Murray. There's probably a new Underworld movie coming out. And
it's awesome.
That's awesome. So that was it. Hopefully you played along well and beat Denise again. Let us know. Should we talk about some music?
Yeah.
All right. Let's hit it.
So
I'm going to try and pull up some of the videos as we go along.
Okay.
Here, see if we can share with everyone.
A couple things I want to talk about first is I think that we have talked about that I have a dance studio in Culver City.
Yes.
And then I also have one downtown. And this next Friday, October 17th, is our 1-year anniversary. So we're going to have this really cool event from 6 to 11. So from 6 to 10, we're going to have free classes that they run like a half an hour each class, and they're free.
They're free. You can come and sample them, and
Yeah,
not
exactly.
even sample. You take the whole half-hour class.
You can take a whole. You don't have to stay for just 5 minutes and leave.
Right,
you can
right.
Take the whole half
the
hour.
whole thing for free.
Exactly. And then from 10 to 11, we're going to have some performances. So the Furies LA.
Oh, they're awesome.
Multiplex, which is a
The Furies are kind
company.
of
they're like an aerial
acrobatic kind of.
Really great. You
awesome.
can. Their website is the Fury Circus, or Fury Circus, not the Fury Circus.
Furies, friends of the show.
Friends of the show. Multiplex Dance Company, the Urban Divas, and DJ Kid Chala and the Shushi. They're playing. So there's several performances happening. So that's really cool if you guys want to come on out. And then
if you're anywhere near LA, come and do that. Yeah, that's coming up this Friday, 2014. You don't have to go back to 2003.
Nope, it's happening
it
2014.
Wasn't happening in 2003. So
nope, wasn't around.
Yeah,
I don't know what was happening down there. Probably people were sleeping.
There was,
in the building.
yeah, that's right. Probably.
With sleeping bags. So, and then the other thing is, since we don't have an intern, I do have staff. And I wanted to thank Alex Marcus, who is a new staff person. She dug up some dirt on our hip hoppers that are 9 out of 10 are in our countdown are hip hoppers.
Oh, nice. So big hip hop week.
Yes.
Back in 2003.
Yes. And just like on a side note, I noticed that you were looking at your clock. Did you record the Bears game?
I didn't.
Oh God.
We'll get done by that. So don't worry.
Okay. Oh, so hurry up. Okay.
No, you don't have to hurry up. I'm just saying. We'll be fine. Don't let it panic you.
Okay. So everybody, Bears game's coming up today. So number 10 on the countdown was Unwell by Matchbox 20.
Unwell.
There will be some people that there wasn't anything exciting to talk about. So we'll just do a little listen. This was Matchbox 20. Unwell. This is the only one in the countdown in 2003 this week that is not a hip hop song.
So there you go. Then you see a little bit.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name? Rob something, right?
Yeah, I don't know. He's like that kind of alternative cute guy.
He could be interchangeable with the goo Dallas guy for me, right?
Yeah.
Rob Thompson, something like that.
I don't know him. We're not friends.
Matchbox 20 kind of went by the wayside, right? I think he ventured out on whatchamacallit, a solo career. A solo career, and he is not here. He's not with Robert Duvall.
He's not on set right
Bill
now.
Murray, right? I mean, he's probably doing something.
Probably. Okay, so number 9.
His big thing was the when he went solo, he did the thing with Santana, because you're so smooth. I sing a song and people are like, nope. Never heard that before in my life. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Smooth. Because you're so smooth.
Sounds the same as it did the last time you sang it.
Good enough. You could make me want you enough. Dan Santana plays the thing. He sings it. It was a huge, huge song. All right, let's move on.
Okay, number 9 was Stand Up. Why don't you play a little bit of that, and we'll talk about. We do have some information to talk about with Luda. This is Ludacris. I actually love Ludacris.
Ludacris is awesome. I do like him. He's always good.
So this is the year.
Take back, wind it back. Ludacris make whack. That's. I know every other word of that kind of rap. That's a different song.
Just like that. So this year is the year that Pepsi sponsored him. And then Bill O'Reilly was like, what are you guys doing? Are you crazy? You can't have some hip hop gangster sponsor you. And so Pepsi dropped him. So his next album, then he went on attack in a ludicrous sort of a way, not in a ludicrous sort of a way, but in his name sort of a very light kind of it wasn't anything majorly bad. Yeah. So that happened, but he's actually in the news this year.
Ludacris is.
Yes. So he has a baby mama, and in February they had a 2-month-old baby that he was trying to get custody of.
Mm-hmm.
and wanted child support for a 2-month-old child.
He wanted the woman to pay him child support?
And he wanted the kid that was 2 months old.
I would assume him being a famous rapper, he's okay for money.
Well, here's the interesting thing. What he said is that Paul Walker's death derailed the Fast and the Furious, so his money dried up. At the same time, the baby mama was trying to get $14,000 a month in child support from him.
And he wanted to get it from her?
Yes. And so the judge ended up giving her $7,000 a month.
That's ludicrous.
It is ludicrous.
Ding, ding, ding.
Moving on.
Listen, I hate to ever agree with Bill O'Reilly. Not at all. But again, it's a broken clock is right every once in a while. If you're a gangster rapper, maybe it's not. And listen, I don't even think.
Buying the
first of all, I don't even think of Ludacris as a gangster rapper. I'm sure he is. The songs I know of his aren't gangster rap, kind of thing. But I'm sure that he probably has some that I don't know where he's espousing maybe his life on the streets and talking about that. I understand. I think that's a valid argument. If Charles Manson came out, someone tried to use him as a sponsor for something, I'd be like, I don't think we need to do that.
You're comparing him to Charles Manson?
No, I'm comparing gangsters, people who...
Right. We don't even know that Ludacris has a gangster history. He's a rapper. Totally.
I agree, but if you're out there glorifying that and saying, like, pretending that you did that, which is what
Ludacris typically doesn't glorify killing.
I completely agree. That's what I'm saying. But you were just saying gangster rap. I don't know enough about it. So
right. Okay.
What I'm saying is, I think it's a fair argument.
I think it is potentially a fair argument. I don't know if it was a fair argument against Ludacris, especially when Pepsi has long-standingly had hip hop people, starting with Michael Jackson, who was obviously tame, but that's where hip hop really started.
Child molesting.
Oh God. Okay. Moving on. Number 8 is Pimp by 50 Cent.
50 Cent's definitely a gangster rapper, right?
50 Cent actually shot someone when he was in junior high school for trying to rob him. So I would say he is full on a gangster rapper.
Well, and then just so we understand, this isn't obviously we mentioned two people not black. Mark Wahlberg, I always think that guy's not a great example. That guy basically almost killed someone, guy at some point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it's a culture,
Yeah. And listen, hip hop, you're exactly right. No need to jump on hip hop, but yeah, a gangsta rap if it's glorifying that. I think that's.
And a lot of it glorifies just abuse and violence and drugs and all that.
Right, and listen, I think that doesn't stop anyone from enjoying the music or saying it's good, or that's speaking to people who are like, oh, this speaks to me. I understand this life, and it's that kind of thing. That's right. That's what art is supposed to do. But take it to the next step. Listen, Pepsi can hire whoever they want. I'm just saying, I think it's a stupid idea. You should expect some backlash if you hire someone who may have been involved in killing people.
Well, but then look at all the sports stars.
Totally agree. Yeah, and those people would be dropped the minute you find that out. Michael Jordan was a pretty
after.
Well, the backlash is going to be there.
Yes,
the backlash will be there.
All right, okay. Number 7. I got no gossip on him, but it's fabulous. It's Into You.
He's fabulous.
He is.
Is this guy around now or no? That name, I thought I just heard someone talking about him. I remember this song, but I didn't know fabulous. It's fabulous, but with an O instead of a U. It's at the first.
The spelling in 2003 was pretty sad. Yeah. I like this song. Okay, number 6 is by Pharrell. It was his first album, and the song is called Frontin'.
I'm gonna do a little screen share so you can see some of the video. If you're watching the Hangout here, people at podcasts will just hear it. So this is 2003. This is a young Pharrell.
He's now 41.
He's not only 41. 2013 may be one of the biggest years ever for.
Yeah.
He was on everything. I mean, obviously, he did Blurred Lines, which is huge. He did the Daft Punk song, which was huge, and he did Happy, which by himself, which was like,
and Happy
what a
was
year.
only his third solo album of his career.
Oh, really? Because
Yeah.
he's always featuring. This one has Jay-Z with him.
Yep. Yeah, he's pretty good businessman. Okay.
Thank you for.
Okay, number 5 is Damn
Damn.
by Young Bloods and featuring Little John.
You know what this reminds me of? The Hustle and Flow.
Yeah.
It's hot out here for a pimp.
Yeah.
I got too many hoes and it.
Yeah.
I don't really sing. I just make noises.
Yes, you do.
That's
Okay, number 3. I actually like this song. This is
Should we
Get
do a little
Low.
screen share on this one?
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
It's Get
No,
Low.
Get Low. Did I already? Oh, did I?
Oh, we need. No, it should be the next one. Get Low by Lil Jon and the East Side Boys.
Did we miss one? Or
Yeah, it's right here. So
there we go.
this is the chorus. So listen.
I'm gonna share.
Oh, so this is like kind of the edited thing. So what the lyrics are actually saying in the chorus is to the window, to the wall, my sweat goes down my balls. All these females crawl. Isn't that lovely?
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't know that.
all these females crawl because they like the sweat on the walls.
I guess, but let me just tell you, ew.
Yeah, it's not a lot of sweat because it's Little John. So
He's got small balls.
which is short for Little Johnson. Right?
Hilarious.
That's what you got.
Yes. Okay.
Now
Ready?
is it this one? Did we miss this?
This
one?
is
No,
oh,
number
yeah.
4. I had it backwards.
oh
Okay.
no, I had it backwards. Number 4 is Right There by Chiggy.
Here we go.
Right
I'm
there.
gonna share it so you can see some of Chingy dancing here. People seem to love Chingy. I was doing a little research and people really like this guy. We're wondering where he's at. Chingy didn't. He's not sticking around. He's not. 2014. He's not on the charts yet.
He made up his name because of like Chingy like change. He liked Vegas and jackpots and he wanted to do thuggy, but he wasn't thug like. He didn't want people to think he was a gangster.
Yeah.
So he's apparently more responsible.
Yeah.
Still can't spell. Right there.
Right there. Right there.
Okay, so we're skipping because we went 3 and 4. So number 2 is Shake Ya Tail Feather by Nelly, P. Diddy, and Murphy Lee.
This was from a movie, not on our top 10 this week.
What movie?
Bad Boys 2.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember it from that?
I do.
So, yeah, the video here, you see Nelly there with P. Diddy and Murphy Lee, but you'll also see, if you're watching on a Hangout, I'll describe to you the podcast. They also, as many music videos do, intercut
The
scenes
movie, yeah.
from the movie. So we see a lot of Martin Lawrence, Will Smith.
I have a little information on how P. Diddy got the name Puff Daddy. Do you know how he got the name? Do you want to guess?
Puff Daddy. I would assume he was a big pot smoker.
It's not that. It's
Like Puff
not
the
at
Magic
all.
Dragon.
It's from when he was young.
Mm-hmm.
He used to get when he'd like lose his temper when he was like a little boy.
Yeah.
He'd huff and puff, and so his best friend used to call him Puffy.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of like the only way
He's puffing his chest out?
Yeah. So it's in my world, it's just another way of calling him pussy without him getting his ass kicked.
Pussy, changing the S's
Yeah.
to F's.
So he called him Puffy instead
Puffy.
of pussy. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, all right, are you ready for number 1?
Numero uno.
Is Baby Boy by the Queen, Beyonce, Sean Paul, and Duty Rock.
Duty Rock. I'm going to do a little screen share so you can see our Beyonce breathing on a bed here.
And I have some sad information about our country.
She's still around, so here's another one. She's
she's around so much that she was added to the Guinness Book of World Records for the most tweets per second when their pregnancy was announced. How pathetic is that?
So the most, people
Isn't that pathetic?
for Beyonce. What's Blue Ivy? Isn't that the name of that? Or
Blue something.
Blue something?
It's got 3 names.
Blue Ivy might be a porn star.
It might be.
Blue Ivy, Blue
I don't know.
something.
It's
Yeah,
Blue something. But yeah, so that's it. Number one,
nice.
Baby Boy.
That was a pretty good week in music. Wow.
Yeah.
Good week in music. Good week in movies.
Yeah.
2003 was you think about it. Oh, 2003. We're probably really news-wise. We were getting into Iraq at about that time. Afghanistan was already going on. Some not great things happening, but some good movies, some good music.
Some good stuff.
I do have some news that happened this week.
Oh.
A couple things. One, this is kind of big. It's so funny that it was happening. It seems surreal when it was happening, but the California governor got recalled in 2003. And this week is when Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor of California, as everyone liked to call him later, the governor. And, of course, he's no longer the governor now. But that was such a big deal. Remember, it just seemed silly. You're like, what? The guy from Kindergarten Cop and Terminator is going to be the governor? So and and he obviously inherited an ugly mess. And I've read things both ways. That some people say he was actually a pretty good governor. He did a good job of stabilizing things, and other people like he could have done a lot more. And California's bouncing back a lot more now that he left. But obviously, it was a crazy time. Yeah. But just nuts that he was it. I also have the top 10 the top 5 or 6 TV shows. You want to hear what was the big TV show? So this is kind of funny. So it was 11 years ago. CSI was the #1 show on
regular
TV.
CSI.
Regular CSI.
Okay, that's still
the
on.
Vegas one, right? Isn't that where it was? Vegas.
Still on.
So that's still on. That's probably. You think it's still in the top 10?
No.
No? Okay. Probably one of the other ones that you watch. What do you watch? NCIS. That's probably #1 or something. Criminal
Minds is up there. Maybe. I don't know.
Number 2. Ready?
Yeah.
Friends was #2.
Wow.
2011. Wow. This is probably getting near the end of their run. Law and Order, which is still, there's like 6 of them now.
Yeah.
SVU,
I don't know if regular is on anymore.
Yeah. But it's on all the time on cable for sure.
Yeah.
Scrubs, which I didn't know that Scrubs ever made the top 10. I mean, I knew I always liked Scrubs.
Is it still
always fun.
On like regular?
No.
Okay.
It's been canceled. So 5 or 6 years ago, probably got canceled. But I always liked that show, but I didn't know it was that big that it hit the top 10. One person that you get told you look like Will and Grace.
Oh.
You get told you look like Will a lot.
Yeah. Mostly that I act like her.
I
don't know if that's a good thing.
Right. So Will and Grace, ER was still on. Remember that was a big Thursday night thing.
Yeah.
Was Will and Grace on Thursday as well?
I don't remember, but
it was on with Friends.
George Clooney got started.
George Clooney got a start. Yeah. He was gone way by this time. And the last show that was on the lineup of TV shows in top 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had the top 7. The West Wing.
I never watched that.
I had seen a couple episodes. It was great. Aaron Sorkin, the guy who you obviously like the.
That's coming back soon.
The Newsroom.
Yes.
He wrote that and did
show.
that, and a lot of similarities. My problem that I always say about Aaron Sorkin.
Everybody's always really smart.
Well, not everyone is always smart. The dialogue's interchangeable. Everyone talks the same. They all have the same kind of sense of humor, that kind of thing. It works in a movie or something like The West Wing where, well, everyone should be very smart and educated and, that kind of thing at the West Wing or in a newsroom, that kind of thing. But it is just funny sometimes where you're like, well, that person could have said that line to this person. No one's that much of a character. No one's ever like, I don't know. They always have some very quick comeback.
Right.
But I still love it. Aaron Sorkin, some fantastic movies. Obviously, The Social Network. Love that. A Few Good Men he wrote. Yeah. So, well, that is it, I think. Do we have a sponsor this week, Denise?
Best
for this week in 2003?
The world is by Spark. This is the energy drink of champions. I drink this every day and have drank it for 12 years. It is by Evercare.
I don't know if that's a ringing endorsement.
It's what gives me my charming personality. I love this. It's wonderful.
Spark, and you can order online?
I think I might love it more than my husband. It gives me the what does it give me? What? I don't even know. I can't talk anymore.
You love it more than me? That's not very nice.
It's in my energy field. It allows me to love you to my fullest capacity.
Okay. We are going to do our big roll here and see where we're going next week. So, Spark, check it in. You love it that much. Go Bears today. Thanks for traveling back with us to 2003. Denise, why don't you hit the roll button there on our 20-sided Dungeons & Dragons ring. 11 years. We just went back 11 years, so let's go a different one. 4 years. So we'll be going back to 2010. 2010 is where the Comedy Time Machine is going next week, so you'll see the second week of October. 2010, and we'll see what's changed. See if we get some Bill Murray, some hip hop, Schwarzenegger probably coming out of office, all that fun stuff. We want to thank you guys for joining us. Again, don't forget our Twitter handle, my Twitter handle that we use for the show, at Steve_Mazan. Don't forget, we needed an intern, and we appreciate you all being friends of the show. Thanks for joining us here on the Comedy Time Machine. Denise, will you stall for time while I get the Comedy Time Machine
Remember
revved up?
that next Friday, October 17th, is the Your Neighborhood Studio Open House in downtown Los Angeles, 101 West 5th. You can check us out at yourneighborhoodstudio.com. If you want to come boogie and check out some dancing, come on down. Check us out.
On down. See you in the future.